Hello and welcome to Knits and Giggles podcast. This is episode 13, Lucky 13. I'm Brandy.
I'm Debbie.
And we're here to talk about knits, probably some spicy books, and I don't know, whatever
Yarn
else
and crafting and stuff.
All the things.
Now maybe we're messing with our video. Does it look straight if we're crooked?
It looks crooked. It really looks crooked.
I'll poke it.
We got a
new tripod and it's
messing with us.
It's fine.
It is.
We'll just go with it.
Yeah. Okay.
So normally we say, what are we wearing? I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing nothing.
God.
That would be entertaining and scary.
It's like the Emperor's New Clothes, that story.
I'm not wearing knits.
Okay.
But let me tell you, I had a knit planned. It's even in my notes.
I love it. I love when you have a knit plan.
And I was going to wear this knit. I left it at my front door when I left my house. But I'll tell you about it anyway, and I'll show you a picture of what it looks like.
The imaginary knit.
The imaginary knit. So mine is gray and green and blue.
Ooh,
and it's called the I know. Just imagine these three colors.
Pretend she's wearing this knit object. What is it?
It's a cowl.
Okay.
And it's the 3-color cashmere cowl by Locatelli. And it's made in fingering weight, which again, I don't really like. But I knit this in 2019, so it was a long time ago.
This is the third podcast in a row that you have come with a shawl or a cowl in fingering weight and said, I don't like fingering weight yarn.
But I knit them in like 2018 and 19.
When you're first learning to knit.
Yes. So this is actually what the cowl looks like. This is not mine, because you will see this is not gray and green and blue.
Well, that's pretty. I love those colors.
So, yes, this is Hohi's, but mine is light gray with a very grass green and a brightish blue.
There is like lace work in it.
Yes. So it's a very, very long cowl.
Looks long.
You can see it's like very tube-like. And that's what it looks like kind of around her neck.
I don't know if I've ever seen you wear that.
Probably not. I made it and it's super long. And I found that because it's knit in the round, but anytime I would switch color, I'd pull it too tight. And you know when that happens when you're in the round and you're switching between colors. And if you pull the color before a little too tight because you don't want it to be gappy, it'll kind of start to cinch it.
Yes.
And it kind of bunches. This one's very much like that because there's so many, like especially in the striping area of it, the colors are I pulled them too tight, so even then with it being blocked, it just is kind of like cinchy in that spot, and it bothers me to even look at it. So
it's so funny because I don't think you'd notice it when you were wearing it.
Probably not, because it's around your neck,
and it's tube-like, so it's not like sitting up. It's
You're
like
not seeing that at all.
No.
But I just noticed it. But it was a fun. I guess in 2019 when I was starting to knit, it was a good kind of in the round, getting used to that practice of knitting, but then also doing striping and doing lace work. And
to keep you interested too.
Yeah, like there's just different techniques that are used. And even at the bottom, you can see like there's little yarn over like eyelets.
Oh yeah, that's really pretty.
So there's different aspects to it. And on mine, I just use some sock weight yarn. It's actually sock. It's like sock, or something. I bought it in London. Yeah.
Cool. I'm wearing my Brooklyn Lite by Tori Knits. I've wore it on the podcast before, but I have a reason why I wore it.
You have a reason today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. So I went on a look-see for the linen yarn.
Oh.
So Debbie and I both have it's 30% silk, 70% linen. I checked it out. Yarn, but it's crunchy, and it's from the same place. And we also have experienced the same yarn, like 30% silk, 7% linen, from a different dyer that was not crunchy. And but I started over a year ago, probably close to a year ago, a Brooklyn Lite in the crunchy linen yarn. And then I put it on hold. This was the second top I started making in this. Hated the first one. So I pulled it all out and then started this one and wasn't loving it. And so I put it on hold and then I actually forgot about it. When I went to look for the yarn, because I decided, so Debbie and I talked about this on Friday, and I think our phones are always listening. Because literally the next day I talked about this yarn and I was like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I should sell it or just use it, try it again. I don't know. It's supposed to soften. The next day I opened up my Instagram and an account that I do not follow had made a post and I almost scrolled by, but it said, did you know linen gets buttery soft if you... And I was like,
it's meant to be.
Okay. So I clicked on the caption, clicked to read it, and it says that if you soak it in...
water.
Yeah. In room temperature water, about 20 degrees Celsius. I'm going to say that's not... Maybe 20 degrees Celsius? I don't know. We're Canadian. As I'm like, this is Celsius or Fahrenheit. I'm not sure. But so anyways, I went downstairs to my stash and I only found one skein. So I was like, okay, where's the rest of my yarn? Well, it was caked up and in a bag for this top. So I went looking for it. I soaked this skein for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And dried it. I know. I'm like, I'm not sure that it is buttery soft.
It feels the same to me.
100% softer.
You're lied.
I know.
Like,
I was gonna blindfold you and make you like decide which one was soaked. Like, I don't know. It might be a little bit softer.
it doesn't really feel.
I thought that once it dried that it would be like, oh yes, this is divine.
Not so divine.
No.
It still feels a little crunchy.
It still feels a little crunchy. But I think that's, like, I want to trust the process. So I think I'm going to finish this top. Now, the reason why I wore mine is because, as you can see with this, which is a merino silk blend, with stellina in it, it's a very nice knit pattern. Like, it's tight, it's not loose. Whereas this, I feel like my stitches are kind of meh.
Yeah. I don't love the fabric.
I know. I don't know what to do. So, like, do I rip it out or do I just finish
Maybe you
it?
hold it with something.
Maybe I hold it with something.
Hold it with Surrey or something.
Surrey. Yeah.
To, like, kind of fill in the
gap.
gappiness
Yeah,
and then make it softer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rip
Surrey's
this out.
really warm though, so maybe mohair.
Yeah. I want this to work, like, so badly. I don't know. If I hadn't already started this, I could maybe go down a middle size and go up a shirt size, but I don't know what to do.
What are your tips, people?
Yeah.
If you've knit with, this is just linen. Oh, it's linen silk.
Yeah, 30%
And then
silk.
the other one was linen silk alpaca that we've tried before, right?
That I have. Yes, yours is no alpaca.
The one
Because
from
you-
Crux?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yours is
right, it's
like,
not.
No,
It's just linen silk.
because I bought the alpaca linen silk and you bought the...
Yes.
Yes. So this is 70% linen, 30% silk.
And it just, yeah, kind of crunchy. So
So when you hold this, it doesn't, like, it's not like it's crunching in my hands or anything, but when you work with it, it's not that great. The other thing I want to say that's also making me want to just make something is that a friend of ours did make something in this exact same yarn as well, and her end result was lovely. So
I know. So I don't know, maybe the gauge was much smaller too. So it's
Yeah.
maybe if you knit this, what size needles are you using?
Oh, that's a very good idea. So I looked through my notes, but I made that because I made this, right?
Right.
So I was smart enough to change my color of, I think. It says, there's a little note for me that says, I'm here with an arrow.
Great. Last time, this time.
Well, that's the little bit of, I'm like, okay, so I think this is where I was in orange, but then that means that I've already done this once, and it says to do it, repeat it one more time. So I'm guessing I have to repeat it again, but I don't understand why I used, like, it looks like I used orange for
this one.
the second time. Yeah.
Oh.
So who knows what I'm doing?
But you don't know what needle size you're using?
Well, I don't know.
We're guessing.
Yeah, we are totally guessing because I don't think I wrote it down.
Because this does not look like a small needle gauge.
No, it says US. Maine was US 4. Which isn't a tiny needle. If I go down a size or down in a needle size, I think I gotta go up a shirt size. The other thing in it, I forgot that I had this much. Not that a ton of it done.
Well, you've already done some short rows.
I've already done
shaping.
Yeah, absolutely. So I forgot that I had that on the needles. But I was thinking that if I just found a t-shirt or a tank that was straight stockinette.
Okay, wait. This is bottom up shirt?
No.
Oh, this is top down?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was like, this is a really small hole. And I can't see
Oh my god.
how this would fit
That's
your
what
waist.
she said. It's a neck hole.
That makes more sense. Because I was like, because often if you're knitting bottom up and you want the back to be longer, you do short rows at the back. So I thought for some reason this was the front and this was the back and then this was the waist. And I was like, this yarn is not stretchy either because that won't fit your waist at all.
No, it is not stretchy. No, it doesn't have as much give as some other yarns do. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still undecided. But I do really want to use this. Like I have 3 skeins of it. And I want to use it and then it to be loved. I want to like be surprised.
I feel like, remember when you talked about the poncho? Did you look up the poncho?
I didn't because I don't know if I want to knit it.
Because like, if this isn't a top, so at this gauge with this holiness,
it would be
clearly you're
poncho.
not wearing this by itself. You'd have to wear a tank under
Which I would
something.
anyway. But I don't know if I love how it looks.
Holy.
Yeah.
But like, if you knit a garment that was drapey and holy, like poncho could be, maybe it'd be better.
Maybe I make an oversized knit linen, like I've got 3 skeins. It'd be enough to be an oversized long sleeve that I could wear in the summer as like a light layer. I love
over like a bathing suit.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I was going to say I could wear it on the boat.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
Like
I love a light.
Like a beach cover-up type thing.
Yeah. And then the gauge wouldn't have to be so crazy.
It could work really well like this. Well, maybe the next time you see Brandy, she'll be wearing a linen beach cover-up.
The next time they see me.
In 2 weeks. She'll be here with her bathing suit on.
You're giving boat vibes.
In
To
March.
the beach. We are having full spring. I keep calling it full spring. The last week and a half, we've had like plus temperatures, like 4 or 5 or up to 10 degrees, I think, maybe.
Celsius.
Sorry, Celsius.
No.
Yeah.
Let's also remember we're in Canada. I was wearing shorts the last 2 days.
No way.
It's not. It's +5.
I took my preschoolers to the River Valley. We were outside the whole class, and we actually seen 2 people running, and the dude was wearing shorts.
Yesterday was too cold for shorts. I wasn't outside really. I was working at home. But
This
on
was
Sunday,
yesterday. He was wearing shorts.
Oh, I could.
But he was running.
I couldn't. Yes, then maybe. But on Sunday it was beautiful. So I was wearing shorts and standing on my deck in the sun, and it was just really nice.
Yeah,
But that's what happens in spring in Canada.
Yeah.
If it's +10, it's shorts weather. In the fall, if it's +10, it's all the layers and knits.
Oh yeah, you're wearing your Canada Goose down shirt, sweater, jacket.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's supposed to be in the negatives. It's gonna be not nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then it goes back up again. So.
Well.
But yeah, so that's why I'm wearing this and the contemplation. I kind of like the idea of a long sleeve, really loose pullover. Oh,
I can't wait to see this now.
Yeah. Because I need another thing on my hooks. Needles. Do you have any FOs?
I have no FOs.
Me.
I have the never-ending knits.
Never-ending knits. I technically have an FO.
Oh.
Yeah. I say technically because it is a single sock. This is the February Cuff Club.
Cute.
Yes.
It worked out really well. So
It
you went
did.
right to the toe with the stripes.
Yes, I did, but so it ends at the gray. I'm using self-striping yarn, but it's my
Does it? That's a different color yellow.
Yeah, so because I pulled, I don't think she must have cut it. Like when you're dyeing it or whatever, it must not have, because there is another shade of yellow in there. So this sock, I tried to find as quickly or as closely as I could.
Yes.
I think I did a good job. The hearts are in the coral only, which if you saw last podcast, Debbie was very upset about the idea of them not being in one color. It was irking her. But they are in the coral, so that's good. But when I get to the toe, this toe is not going to match because, as you can see, there's no more purple here. So I'm just going to knit to the end, so it's going to go yellow again because yellow is the...
Right.
Yeah. But instead of going yellow, purple, pink, it'll be yellow, pink, coral.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why that happened like that.
I don't know.
But basically there was 3 sets of yellow in there, so
interesting.
It is what it is.
It is.
That won't bother me. I'm glad that they're gonna look mostly like a matching sock, so yeah, they're super cute. And I'm hoping to finish this one soon so I can cast on my March.
What's the March one?
I will show you because that's also something I brought to share.
Okay.
Hold on, let me throw my bags. I have a lot of things today. Okay, so the March, I'll show you guys she actually I've talked about this a lot, but just in case, it's Summerly Knits, and she does Colourwork Cuff Club. So every month she comes out with a new cuff design. You buy the pattern, you buy the set, I guess, but each month a new one comes out. So you can, if you bought it today, you would be able to access August till today. Mm-hmm. So she just shared this month's.
Cute.
So cute.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a little daisy or chrysanthemum or something like that. But, so I went stash diving to find my colors. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a lot of solid sock yarn. I have some fingering weight, but it's all stuff that it's like BFL and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I found this. That will be my main color.
That looks very plump.
It does look very plump. But also confession time. I suck at retwisting yarn. So I had untwisted it. It still is
it's still quite plump. As a fingering weight, it's very plump.
It is. What is it called? Is it called fingering plump? Nope. It's 80-20 superwash. But yeah, so and it's actually 115 grams. So it's a nice size.
I like it.
But because obviously it's quite color pooly, I needed something that would really contrast. So this is going to be the center of the flowers.
Okay, wait. People who are watching, when you watch this back, yes, I did just smell this yarn. Because you're probably like, why is she smelling it? Because I thought, it smells like essential oils or something all of a sudden. And I was like, is that this yarn? It's not.
It's me.
Oh, it's Brandy.
I've been fighting a low-key headache, so I have this essential yarn roller that's called Vanquish, and it's for headaches. So it's all.
It was her and not the yarn. So that's why I was smelling the yarn. Weirdo.
So anyways, yeah, bright yellow, and then the flower petals will be this super. The color is not picking up, but it is.
It's very vibrant.
Very vibrant because it's got to be something to pop out, and I use this in my January. So yeah, I think it's gonna look good.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's super fun.
I'm really enjoying this.
The fun
yes.
combos and
I'm not enjoying Colourwork socks because the hearts that you just saw on the second sock, I had to rip out because I forgot to change the needle again, which I did in January as well. It's so hard, and I'm trying to think of a way to get to that point where I remember something, and I'm like I don't know, I can't. I know the pterodactyl. Oh, back. He hasn't been back in so long.
That is huge. At first, I was like, "Is that a magpie hanging off?" But then I saw his head. Oh, he's gone. I was in the picture.
He heard you. He's like, "What's
shaking?" Mm-hmm. It was a big one.
He's as big as my bird feeder. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I need something to figure out how to remind me to change my needle size.
I'll try and think of something. I don't know. I can't think offhand like how you would.
I don't know. Like
besides like writing it on the pattern.
Yeah.
Like in big letters and being like, change needles.
So the hearts I did on my phone, like I just took a screenshot of the chart and used it on my phone because it was pretty easy. This one I printed off, but the problem is that I just print off the chart. Like I know the pattern off my heart.
The whole pattern, right?
Yeah.
Then I don't know.
Yeah. So whatever. It is what it is. I'll figure it out. But it is frustrating. I just finished and I was like, oh no. And I'm like, yeah, there's no way this is going to go over my heel. I don't know if I would want to do a lot of color work. Like I like the cute little designs. She has some that are like bigger. I don't know if that really appeals to me for two reasons. One, I don't love doing the color work. I love the design, but also I don't love a tall sock.
No,
so
either.
To do a tall cuff, some of hers are quite tall. I don't think I would do it. The reason why I bought this cuff club is because in October it was ghosts, and one of our acquaintances, Pink and Ink Knits, had posted a picture of hers, and they were like bright pink socks, I think, maybe stripes with white ghosties, and they were so cute. And I was like, I would do that, but again, it's a small cuff. So
then, how do you think you would feel about large color work area, like on a sweater?
I don't. Well, I did the whole framed.
True.
It's the tiny needles, and yeah, I find it like tedious isn't the right word. It's actually kind of like it hurts my hands, like holding both of them, both strands, and going such a small area. I find it clumsy, and I can't work a long time because my hands cramp. So on the sweater, it was fine, especially when you're doing like a big repeat,
right?
And you can memorize it.
Yeah.
I like to be able to memorize it because if I can't memorize the repeat, I hate looking at charts every 5 stitches.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have seen like some interesting color work designs lately though that have intrigued me. And after doing the framed, I'm like, a yoke?
Sure. A yoke would be super easy compared to the entire body.
The entire body and the sleeves, yeah. I think I would do a yoke. I think if I'm going to do a color work sweater next, it's going to be a yoke. It's not going to be a full body. Yeah. I feel like our video got really dim.
I don't know what's happening.
Me neither. Hopefully it's good.
I'm sure it's fine. My screen brightness is never set super high, so that
probably could be it.
What it is.
Do you have whips?
Well, yes. I still have my same sweater, but it is longer than when the people last saw it. When you saw it, it's still basically the same. I've done a few more rounds, but I need to stick needle stoppers on this because I'm feeling I'll make it fall off the needles. That would be bad. Good old needle stoppers. Okay. What is this thing called again? The big little something.
Big little sweater.
Big little stripes.
Big little stripes. It looks like a, I don't know why, but right now, the way I was holding it up, it looks like a little kid's jumper, you know? It needs buttons on the bottom, and it can be like a little romper for a child. It's so cute.
So I'm almost done the body. The way this is, because it's set in sleeves, this design could make a really good, like, vest.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like,
yes, I see it.
Basically, if you just picked up and put a little bit of ribbing on the edge, it could. I would not make this one a vest because it is. What would I put it over? It'd have to be over like white.
It would have to be over white
because of the colors. But if this were knit in like black and white or gray or even just one solid color in this design.
Navy, it would be beautiful navy.
Like just the way the design is, it could be a vest very easily. So I have, I think, a few more stripe rounds to go. Then I'm going to get into the ribbing with this one at the bottom. And then do the collar in this and then do the sleeves.
How long are the sleeves?
The sleeves on the sweater are full length, like in the design.
Oh, okay.
For some
some reason I thought this was not a full length.
It is.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
Are you doing a full length?
I'll do as much as I can with the yarn amount that I have. Excuse me. So I have this, and I have one more of these. Okay. So this is all I have left of this Cinder Rose or something it's called.
Yeah.
But I think I don't have a lot of the body left to do, and then I just have the sleeves. So I'll basically stripe it until I run out of this.
And then throw this as the cuff.
Yeah, and then make that as the cuff.
Nice.
If I get to like mid forearm, that would be great, because I really would push it up anyway.
Yeah.
And if it goes full length, then that's good too. But if not, I won't be heartbroken.
Sweet.
Yeah, because I like it anyway. Oh, look, money.
Oh, look.
I like when I find money in my knitting bags.
I seem to often have toonies in my knitting bags. I don't know why.
Yesterday I found 4 $5 bills in this knitting bag. I gave them to my daughter. Because she was saying
kind of you.
She was like, I want allowance. And I'm like, you don't need an allowance. Like, you basically get money when you want the money and you do the things you want to do. What do you need the allowance for? But whatever, she needs to have it so she can go buy plants and samosas. She has a plan with her 14-year-old life.
That's samosas and plants. Those are important things.
Yeah.
So I have 2 work in progresses that I haven't shown yet.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I have one more, but I'll show it after.
Okay. Well, I'll show this one and you can show one. This is my Take Your Time Slipover vest by Caidree. So last time I was about here, I think.
Yes.
Now the first part of the back is done and one front piece, and then I'll do the other front piece.
Is this V-neck? I can't remember.
It is.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And then it has, it looks like super, like, you can't tell because this doesn't let it relax enough.
Yeah.
But, like, it looks super deep.
Right.
I don't know why I changed my voice there.
But if this one has ribbing?
It has lots of ribbing. Like, it's quite thick ribbing.
So you can bring it in with your ribbing, basically.
Yeah, and I think I'll bring up a picture. But I also think that just even the ribbing itself will make it, and I mean, it's going to go over a shirt. It's a vest.
Yes.
Yeah, but it does, like, when I was knitting, I'm like, this looks really risque. But it's really not. I've never done a design like this,
It's going to be so cute. And then when you block it, like, it'll just relax, like, because you can see how it just kind of, like, it has quite a bit of stretch in it already.
I'm really loving the feel of that combination of yarn.
It's so nice.
I didn't link it, so I have to look on our Instagram here. I should have just went to Ravelry. I don't know why I didn't. I'll go to Ravelry. Yeah, I really like the yarn combination.
So the yarn is Brine Dye Works BFL fingering.
No. DK.
Oh, it's DK.
Because it was supposed to be Aran.
An Aran weight, right. So it's a DK with this, what is this again? This cloud, Surrey. Is it cloud something?
I think so.
I can't remember what brand it is.
Hold on, I got back for you.
But it's a Surrey, and it's from the
Fiber Spates Cumulus, which is a cloud.
Cloud.
Yeah.
Cumulus.
And it's alpaca silk.
So fluffy.
Yes. So, let me just find a better picture. That'll work. So you can see that the ribbing is definitely, like, there's definitely ribbing on it. And it is V-neck, which I think is going to be really flattering.
Yes.
For a vest.
And it'll look really cute over t-shirts. I'm constantly seeing things styled with, like, just a t-shirt.
That's how she has it styled. I think that's probably how I'm going to mostly wear it.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
When we look at patterns later, I found a new one that I want to share.
Ooh,
a new vest type.
Ooh.
Shirt.
All right, share your next whip.
My next whip.
I feel like we're speeding along again, but it'll be fine.
Maybe not. We'll see. Where's my notes? So, we talked about these before, but ooh, there's a light on in my bag. Well, here we are again. Does this feel reminiscent of previous times.
Debbie can't shut her lights off.
Oh, I did it.
Everybody's like, oh, it's podcast 12 all over again.
Sorry. What is this called again?
I have no idea.
The knit and fold slippers.
Oh, yes.
I started them. So that's as far as I've gotten. It doesn't look like a slipper, does it?
No, it certainly does not.
So this is a free pattern from Purl Soho. And
what are you using for yarn?
I'm using
cottony.
DK. No.
No.
This is, it's not cotton.
No, it doesn't feel cotton now. It just had a sheen to it. I like it.
So this one is the Pixel, it's called Pixel Gradient Yarn, the way that it's dyed, and it's from Ginger Snap. So I bought this, it's DK, and I did knit a pair of socks out of this yarn already as a gift for someone. And there were 2 balls so that they can match. And so I had this, I weighed them, they're the same amount of each. I have like about 50 grams of each one. So basically, it's already split for my slippers. And then that is a full ball. I think because this was already wound, this yarn is from Fiber Nook. If I can't remember, but it's also a DK. And then these slippers look like this, if we remember. They remind me of elf shoes. Ta-da! And this is a free pattern.
Yep.
And let's see if I can bring it up because I want to show construction because it's very interesting, and I can do that because it's free. I wouldn't do that if it were a pink pattern. Because you knit them flat and then you fold them to construct them.
It reminded me of, I don't know if you did this, but when I was a kid, we used to make our own envelopes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it reminded me of.
Yeah. For some reason, that's not letting me.
Well, I could bring it up. I had trouble with it last time.
Oh, it's letting me now, but I have to find where somebody. Here we go. So somebody has knit and posted their pictures on Ravelry. So this is how it looks when you knit one. So right now I'm knitting here. Whoop. No, I'm not. I'm knitting this part back and forth, and then I'll start to bind off and then decrease to knit this part, and then this gets folded in, and then that gets folded over. It's very, let's see if she has progress photos. And the pattern does have pictures to show you how to construct it, because otherwise I would be like, what? And you're supposed to attach, I don't have them on here right now. I don't think it's told me to yet, but you attach stitch markers at certain points. So then it's like fold stitch marker 1 to touch stitch marker 3.
Smart.
And so you know exactly where you're supposed to stitch things together.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, that's my start of what my slipper will be.
Sweet.
Yeah. I can't wait for the warm feet.
Yeah, you know, I was like, oh, I should maybe cast on those slippers, and then I didn't.
Then you didn't.
And then I didn't.
Because you cast on other things.
Well, yeah, you know.
You're working on socks and all the things.
And my scrappy sweater that I was like, I think I might make this.
Oh my God.
I know. 2 weeks progress.
Holy cow.
Right? It is insane. So
look how it's turning out.
It's going to be amazing.
Do we remember just holding all the balls last time and like talking about how they were going to be paired? Look at this. Look at the speckliness.
It's so soft. Like, it is going to be the softest thing I've ever owned.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
Look at the greens.
I have something to say, though.
It's very... I love that.
Okay, so, yeah. So, I will show you my inspiration photo. But basically, when I was making this, the inspiration photo has vertical stripes here. But I didn't use the same pattern. And the person who made the sweater that I used as a inspiration, she went off pattern. Like, the other one isn't striped like hers is. So, I But when I started doing this, I was like, well, I'd like some stripes on the back. It's obviously not going to match the front when it's on. But I'm doing V-neck as well. And then once I'm down in the round, it will all match. It'll all match. At first I was a little bit nervous about it, but I think it's going to be so fun. And I don't know.
It's so nice.
I'm really into the like mismatchy stripes anyway, so it'll be good. But I did want to say this. So this yarn here, I don't know. It is mohair. I got it a long time ago, and I don't know who dyed it or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it was an indie dyed because it came in a hank, and I believe it was a gift. But look at that. That's mohair. Okay?
Yes.
Now, this one here, which is also a green, I'll find my thing. It is also mohair, and it was dyed by False Poly. But it does not have
the same halo. This is like such a big halo.
I made a toque with this, and I can't wear it because it catches on my eyelashes, and it was my first ever.
See that, but like,
it's so fuzzy.
There you go. Yeah, you can like see how fuzzy that halo is of that mohair.
So fuzzy.
And then down here, it's not as much. Like, so you can see it, but.
I thought I didn't like mohair because this is my first time using mohair, and I made a toque with it, and I don't wear the toque because it's always getting in my eyes and making my nose itch. And then I made the ribbed welt cowl with this yarn. Mm-hmm. I wear it right here up on my face, and it doesn't bother me at all. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because I have heard lots and lots of knitters say they prefer suri over mohair because mohair makes them itchy or the fuzz is everywhere. I would strongly suggest checking out mohairs before rating off all mohairs, because I would say that this is good evidence that all mohairs aren't the same.
They're not created equally.
They're not created equally. Because I love this, and I have a whole other skein of this. Like, I love it. And so I use this strategically on my back instead of in the front of my sweater, close to my face. And then there is some there.
Well, I was just thinking, like, the way that this is, it's up at the neck. If you were to find it itchy, it would be touching the back of your neck.
It's not itchy. It's that the fibers irritate my breathing in my eyes. Yeah. I don't find it itchy. I find it just, like, irritates me. But it also is going to have a collar, like a ribbing. So
good.
There's going to be that separating it. Yeah, right?
Like, I love these caramel stripes.
Remember when you were like, I just don't understand how that yellow is going to work in it, Brandy.
Well, I didn't see
I held it with this.
Yes, I couldn't see it held with green.
Yes,
because that would look really weird.
It would be weird. I would not do that. But held with this as a contrast, it's...
Or if it were held with the other one you have. The parchment color.
Yeah, it is right there.
Is that this one?
Oh, you mean with the... This one.
No. Like from your other, if you had leftover of the cumulus from your vest.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I will.
Oh.
Because did you see
that color? I'm saying just that color.
I know, it would.
That creamy color with this.
Yeah.
That could look really nice.
It could. Yeah.
But as much as I love this, I really love these stripes.
I know, I really love the stripes. That was done first. You do the back first. So,
So that at this point, then you're going to get into bigger.
I'm assuming
stripes.
That's where I do around. Yeah. Yeah.
So that it will just be this little section that will be these small stripes.
Yeah. And it won't match the front, and it'll be like contrast. I think it's gonna be amazing.
You're just making up your stripes though.
As I go. I wrote down everything for these because they are gonna match on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing I'm doing is weighing my yarn because. Like this is a 20 gram skein.
The other side, same on the other side.
Yeah, I want to make sure. So that's why some of the stripes are like, I'd actually planned on like maybe a little bit bigger or something, but I'm like, I don't want to run out of yarn. Mm-hmm. I'd rather err on the side of caution. Does your scale, my scale, sometimes I feel like I put my yarn on it and it says 5 grams and then I take it off and put it on and it says 6 grams. And I'm like, well, is it 5 or is it 6? So I always err on the side of caution, go low. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like sometimes I'm like, okay, why didn't that match out? And I mean, it's a whole gram.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it could be 5.5 grams. Mm-hmm.
I like the seam pick up here. Did you do that? Is that the way it's supposed to be?
Can I talk to you about that?
Yeah.
For a second.
I'll try.
All right.
This on the outside. That's the seam.
So there is supposed to be a seam. However, it is supposed to be an I-cord cast on, which I have never done before, but I was determined to do an I-cord cast on. So I didn't. Spoiler alert.
I'm like, this doesn't look like an
It's not. I worked on it for 2 days and then I gave up because I tried using my cordsmith.
Okay.
And one, I've never used it before. So I think I need to master it without holding 2 yarns. Oh my gosh, it was so tricky.
Yeah.
2, I watched video after video after video, but it goes so fast when they're doing the pull through thing that I couldn't seem to get mine to work. And I wasn't sure if it was working. And with the 2 yarns, it was so hard to see the loops. So I was like, hey, the cordsmith is not going to work. I'm going to do this by actual. So I started doing that. Again, holding the mohair was so frustrating that I was like, I'm not doing this. So I will show you the pattern.
Could you just do the cast on with just your yarn, like just this yarn? Not holding it up?
I haven't really thought about it.
I don't know what an I-cord cast on looks like now that I think of it. So do you make a whole I-cord and then you knit into it?
Yeah. So she has, I'm going to just bring up the pattern. So in her pattern, she has, instructions and a video tutorial. So I did look at it to make sure that I could figure out what I was doing. And she calls it a neat seam. So that's what it looks like on the pattern with the I-cord. So you knit your first part on the one side of the I-cord, and then you knit on the other side of the I-cord, leaving that bump. So what I did was I did a regular long tail cast on, which I'm very familiar with. And then you're not supposed to knit around, but I knit around. And then I used either side of the knit to leave that bump up there.
Right.
Don't ask me how to explain that better than that because I don't really know.
I'm just thinking like you could also have done like a provisional maybe. And then done like almost like a 3-needle bind off.
Yeah.
To get that edge.
Yeah. But because you have to pick up stitches, I just left that bump there. It's not as pronounced, I think, as in her I-cord, but it works.
It's visible. Like, yes. You can see it. So
And if it wouldn't have been, it wouldn't, like, this is the thing. So I tried it 3 or 4 times, quite a few times with my cordsmith. And then I tried it a couple times with the needles, and I was getting so frustrated. And I put it down a couple times, and then I said to myself, will it matter if I don't have the neat edge? And I was like, I really don't care.
No.
So, yeah.
You could have no edge at all. You could just make it like a normal.
Yeah, it was more important for it to be on my needles. But I do want to figure out how to do the I-cord with the cordsmith. Because when I was watching videos, I was like, this is nifty. I also saw some people, they did it on their needles. And then they used the cordsmith once there was a little bit of the I-cord created. Now, it didn't say in these videos whether or not that was done on purpose or just to show you. But I feel like that might have helped. I did try that, but with the mohair, it was so frustrating.
Have you seen that other thing? That person that we know sent a picture of it yesterday. And it looks like
the tuner. It looks like a
tuning fork.
Yeah.
And I've seen one of those be used, too. And they look interesting.
I don't know how to use that.
Because you just basically you wrap the yarn around and then you pull up one side and the other side over. Have you seen those? Or like...
No, but would it not be similar to what the kids do in schools where they like make the tube?
Yes, it's basically that. And then because it only has 2, the way you have to turn it the other way so that you're always having the yarn going in the same direction. It looks really easy to use. It's just, I think, more manually than a cordsmith is because the cordsmith is just using the hooks.
And it's quick. Like I've seen some people, they're like, it's fast. Which I can totally see.
I haven't mastered mine either, and I own multiple cordsmiths.
Yeah.
I have the plastic one that you got from Size Inclusive, Autumn. So I have one of those from her, but then I also have the wood one that I bought for us, those little ones, which I don't like as much.
Okay, well, I didn't try the wood one.
I find the handle too small.
I couldn't find it, and I know where it is. I had it slipped in my fingering weight yarn, so I got to pull all my fingering weight yarn off my shelf because it must have like slipped down. But yeah, yeah, you find the handle too short. That's interesting. I found the size inclusive one a good way to hold it. The other thing I wanted to show you guys before I put this away is the two greens. And also I added this. So that was not shown last time.
I was like, I really like this dark color.
Yes. Okay. So
is that this?
Yes, it is. And that is with the darker mohair.
And that's maybe I was like, I really love this.
So when I started the back and I realized that was going to be the darkest color, I knew right away I was going to need a contrast, and I knew right away exactly what skein I was going to use. This is from Robin, Rose Hill Yarns, and I bought it a couple years ago at Prairie Fiber Fest. And when I bought it, I wanted to make socks with it. And now, I don't know for sure, but our friend Batty was making socks one time, and she said, I said, what yarn is that? And she said, it's Rose Hill. And I said, I think I have that. And I didn't like the way the variegation was pooling in the socks. So it might not be the exact same colorway, but it looked similar. And so immediately I was like, I don't know if I want to make socks with that now.
Well, this is a good option.
This is a great option, and it works so well. So
it reminds me of St. Patrick's Day.
It does, doesn't it? I can't remember what it's called. But so that's those stripes. And then I held this with this here. It muted it.
Yeah, it looks very different.
Like, look at that. It's like a completely different yarn.
Yeah.
So it's crazy using your mohair how much it can mute the color. So that's also something to think about when you're choosing mohair.
Yeah, when you're pairing things.
Yeah.
Like that one that I had, the sloth yarn. And I bought the black because I want to tone down the blue.
Yes, which you still haven't made anything with.
I haven't, but I have the plan to make it into a Cat Bells cardigan.
Yeah.
So
the other thing I dislike about holding yarn double like this is, as you can see, I've got quite a few of these little stitch markers because they're holding a piece of mohair.
So
I'm gonna have to go. Stitch. It's a drop stitch. I noticed them usually like 4 or 5 rows back. So I don't know how to fix that. So I've put light bulb things in there. It's on my vest too. There's one, and then I'll go back with one piece of mohair and just. So this actually happened with my first Cozy Classic Raglan, and I asked what I should do in our knit chat, and most people said you either rip it back or you tie it in. Not ripping it back.
Tie it in.
I'm tying it in.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. So by the time I'm done, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of light bulb stitch markers, but I cannot wait. Like, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so cozy.
Well, by this rate, she'll have it done by St. Patrick's Day.
I took a picture like a week ago of just like this part, and I wanted to put it. See, this is the mohair getting in my face. I wanted to put it on social media, but I wanted to also surprise Debbie with my progress. So look for that on social media.
Good. And if you follow our social media, you can. We're on Instagram, Knits'n'Giggles Podcast. Then you will see basically our whole grid is brandy and it's a lot of the same color scheme. You'll notice as well. I don't know why.
Debbie does our.
I forget to take pictures every day. It's like I'm knitting, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture today, and then all of a sudden it's nighttime, and it's not good picture time.
But you also knit at night a lot.
I do, because that's when I'm not working.
Right.
But like on weekends, I'm knitting in the day, and I just totally forget, and then all of a sudden it's night again, and I'm like, the lighting's just not the same.
No.
With the table lamp or whatever.
No, it really isn't.
It's not the same.
What I was gonna say though was that Debbie does our podcast videos. She always uploads them and everything. And the other day I said that I felt guilty for not doing that, and she said, you do our social media. So now I'm just like, I do our social media. It's my input.
It is.
I'm gonna try and get better.
She knits way more than me, so she has more to share
right now. But I'm gonna try and get better at taking pictures of your stuff.
Well, I have the same things for weeks on end, so
whatever. What's next? Patterns?
Patterns.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even remember because I made these notes last week. So we were going to podcast on the weekend. But then my dog had a seizure. So I was exhausted because I was awake all night with my seizing animal. He only had one, but then he takes a long time to recover. And then I was awake. And then I couldn't go back to sleep. So I had like 3 hours of sleep. And then in the morning I was like, I cannot podcast and be like alive. So yeah, we moved to today, which is great.
It gave me more time to knit on my sweater.
and then it made me forget what my notes were because I actually made notes. What was this sweater that I wanted to talk about?
You said you had a new vest.
That is on here. I have 4 things.
Ooh.
So one is the Refracta sweater. Oh, okay. I have a picture of it. The Refracta sweater by Zanete Knits. So Zanete Knits on Instagram.
I feel like you've shared one of her knits before.
I might have.
Ooh.
So it's color work in the round, like a round yoke sweater, but that is mosaic. So it's a mosaic color work sweater. Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
It's mosaic color work.
Interesting.
In the round. Yes. And so I saw this on her Instagram, which that's where my link is taking me to her Instagram. Safari cannot open. Why? Why Safari? Is this one it?
Silly Safari.
I don't know what it's doing. It's making me download things. Okay, I don't know.
What's it called though?
So it's on her. Yes, I showed the picture.
Okay.
But she has a little blurb about it. I can't remember what weight it is. I think it's just entering testing right now, so it's not released yet. But I want to say that it's a DK weight maybe. She uses spin cycle, but I can't remember which, if it's the sport weight or the worsted weight that she uses of the spin cycle. But yeah, I can't wait until it's released because I really want to see the construction because I think that I would like to knit this mosaic color work yoke. And then, did you find that one?
Well, I did, but I found one of her posts, but it doesn't say, it says what kind of yarn she used in this one, but it doesn't say the weight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. William yarns using snack yarn.
I don't know.
Okay. Me neither. I was hoping it would show the, because I would know that if it was dyed in the wool or.
Right. I'm pretty sure that's
cycle.
Spin cycle. Does it say that?
That's it, right? Yes.
Yeah.
No, it says William yarns in a gradient.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's just one of the
options.
I don't know.
Maybe. The other pattern that I have is called the Lacey Loop Tee by Otherloops. And it's in testing currently. I keep finding all these ones in testing. And they apparently keep taking me to Instagram to look at them, and I can't look at them. So let's see if I have a picture of that one saved. Yes, I do. So it is a Lacey Loop Tee knitted in luxury silk from Lane's Denord. The recipe, I like that. The recipe is being test knit and will be released in late March. So that's what that one looks like by Otherloops. I'm pretty sure she has a cardigan that looks very similar.
Oh, that's cute.
And I think a long sleeve sweater as well that I've seen. And between the eyelets and the garter, so you can see there's eyelet rows and garter rows. In the other ones that I've seen, they're different colors, so it's striping as well.
Okay.
But I liked how it looked looser. It could be a nice summer knit thrown over top of a tank top or something.
Yeah. With jean shorts, that'd be so cute.
It would. I really am liking the neutral knits.
Yeah.
Like the way that designers are using neutral tones and then styling them. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I want everything cream and white, but I probably stain everything.
Me too.
So,
Me too.
but it just looks so nice, like so classic looking.
Yeah. We can wear it with so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have some?
I do. Okay, so I actually was going to show these last week or last podcast, but then I went on a deep dive for that scrappy. So this one is called the Brienne cardigan by Brienne Moody. And I want to show this one. I'm really loving like a pop of color in a mismatchy way. So it's really hard to see in this picture, but if you look it up, it has a little bit of, like you can see that where the, like, it's not striping, kind of striping, but where she uses the pink on the sleeves in like alternating rows. And same within the, I'll see if I can find another picture that shows it a little bit better. Same with on this side. Oh, here, this is much more contrasty. So you can see it on the back. Yeah. And then that's on the sleeve detail as well. So fun. So I really like that. And the reason why I pulled this is because I think I need to make another cardigan. Like I only have one. I only have my cardigan. Mm-hmm. And it's oversized and fun. But I'd like something a little bit more fitted maybe.
Yeah.
And
making sounds apparently.
So I seen this on Instagram and I was really intrigued by that. But I also saw this. It's the Amulet Cardi by Jessie Camus. It is a free pattern offered by Pom Pom, Meg, and Hobby. So I think you can get it. It is on Ravelry, you can show. It took me to a different link. Weird. Technology. Oh, that's weird. I put the wrong link down. Hold on.
It's not technology.
It's not. It's me. I'm like, that's Sund. That's a different one I wanted to talk about. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can bring it up on Amulet Cardi.
I also want to knit another cardigan because I do only have my Trinnigan. And I already have the yarn. Well, now if I want to make the cat bills, but that's also a very oversized long cardigan. Mm-hmm. But I have the yarn already to do the turtle dove. The one by Sonder Yarns.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that one, the yarn I have is just gray. So it'd be very basic. I just need to knit faster.
Right?
I know.
Well, I also was thinking that I need to have something to look for yarn-wise for when we go to Rose City Fiber Fest.
Oh, yes. We are going to Rose City Fiber Fest.
Okay. I'm not hating on these photos by any means. They're very artistic and they're very fun. However, they don't show the design very well. So you can see glimpses of what's going on, but I wish that there was like even a flat lay of the cardigan because they are very artsy, but you don't see.
Oh, yes, and one of the tops that I'm going to show does the same thing.
So
it's hard to see the whole thing.
Yeah, and so I love this, and it is, like I said, it's in Pom Pom Make, but I wish there was like one non-artsy photo of it. This is the closest I think you get to it. Mm-hmm. So it is quite, I would say it's quite like, what is that word when it's like not super close? Like you wouldn't be pulling it over.
Right.
To button. But
shrug.
Yes, like that's exactly what I mean. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really love that one, and yeah. So those two my. And then I also or you could just make one that you have the pattern for, Randy. Although that one's free pattern, but I do have the pied pattern from Caidree with the mismatched stripes. So that might be the yarn I look for at the Rose City Fiber Fest.
But that one uses so many different colors. You could probably.
It's just I'll bring it up. Yep.
I thought that it was like kind of one main, and then over here was one stripe, and over here's a different color stripe, and then on the back.
You were thinking of a different.
A different sweater.
Yep.
Oh,
that is. I don't remember, but that's similar to the leaf cardigan.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes. No.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally different one.
Totally different. But I would really like to make the leaf cardigan too. But I think if I just start with two colors. Yeah. So, tell me, what's it?
What's the next one? Oh, it's called we talked about this, the Get Out of the Pool DK by Beth MacDonald Stone. And that is the one that is knit flat. The construction's super interesting because it's just knit flat and then all pieced together.
And the caption talks about using variegated yarn and avoiding pooling.
And I was like, I don't understand how that could happen, because if you knit with variegated yarn, the pooling just is going to happen how it happens. But then I looked at the construction.
To be fair, she messaged me and said, you can't promise there won't be pooling in variegated yarn. That is impossible to promise that.
How do you do that? Like, you don't know what someone's going to use, so you don't really know that there won't be pooling. But looking at the construction of this, because it goes back and forth, it will not pool that way.
Because you're not going in the round.
You're not going in the round. So it's because it's knitting back and forth.
Okay.
And you're knitting the front and back and forth, and then you're knitting the back, and you're piecing things together. And then, yeah, and it's drop shoulder, and you're just adding the ribbing on the sleeves after. Mm-hmm. So I can see now how it's called Get Out of the Pool. Yeah, my stomach is making very weird sounds.
Before you're startled, Debbie, my kid is on the back deck cleaning. You can see his shadow.
He's okay.
Yeah. We had a near
so it's not
recently.
It's not a woodpecker, it's a human.
It is a human. He went to clean my barbecue the other day for me. Super kind, but he is 16 and a half and a little bit forgetful. So he turned my barbecue on high and walked away.
Oh no. Did it melt your siding?
We're very lucky that it wasn't close enough to the siding. However, it so I was in the house, but I was like washing dishes after supper and stuff, and then I saved our house from burning down because I needed to wind yarn. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I wound yarn, and I was standing here. Otherwise, I would have left, and I wouldn't have come back into the kitchen. And I was standing here, and I looked out, and I was like, "That's weird. Why is there smoke billowing?" So the barbecue had actually caught on fire. And we have natural gas, so it's connected to the house. The propane tank is not running out. So I was like, oh my God. So I ran out and got my husband, who is a welder, so he has like a lot of experience with fires and heat. And we were able to, like, I didn't go out and open the lid or anything like that, but I shut off the natural gas and then went and got him. And then, he was able to move the barbecue, which was actually also dangerous because you know how you get like the tray underneath with the oil drip?
Yes.
Well, because it was so hot, that was on fire as well.
Yeah.
So like, I mean it. If I hadn't decided to wind yarn in the kitchen, my house would have burnt down.
Thank God for knitting.
Thank God for knitting.
It saves houses from fires.
Yeah. So it was a little scary, but unfortunately what it did is I think our barbecue is okay, but it did cause like kind of an ash sort of film to form on the overhang of our house and then on the siding and stuff. So before my husband left to work, he's like, he is going to clean this up. This is taking responsibility for mistakes. So that's what he's doing.
I have done that before too, so he can't feel too horrible.
I've left my barbecue on, but I've never left it on that. He left it on Lite. Like Ignite.
On Ignite.
And didn't turn it down. So I don't think it would have been so bad if we had left it.
Because that tray did start fire in mine once in my old house. Mm-hmm. And the way where the gas comes out and was hooked up, there was only one spot really for the barbecue to be. Mm-hmm. And it also caused ash and all sorts of things. But there was no overhang, but my siding on my old house is white. So there's little black speckles all over the back of the house from the barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to knitting.
Whew. That was about knitting.
Check on your barbecues.
Saved the house.
Yeah.
Anyway, lesson learned. So that is that top. And then I have one more.
Okay.
Apparently I have two more, but I don't... Anyway, we'll start with this one. Detroit Slipover by Sarah Otteson. So this is the one that's like a vest, kind of.
Oh, I love the texture on that.
Yes.
It is.
But this is one of those things where all the pictures also are quite artsy. And they're beautiful. But it is hard to like get the full picture. So this is the side, and it's connected with a button, which I think is cute. But like,
I do love the
here's the
artsy
back.
photos, but you just need one like good flat lay or something.
Well, there is a flat lay in this series. I'll show you. When my phone cooperate. But like, look, like that. What is that showing me? Really, just a teeny bit of detail of the shoulder.
I guess the texture.
I guess. Because it's like basically, it looks kind of like brioche.
I kind of want to make that now.
Like that's their.
Oh, that's not good.
That doesn't help me.
That's
here.
not what I meant by a flat lay.
It is flat and it's laying.
No, I know, but I meant like a better flat lay.
It's just very, like that doesn't, it's tiny and it's hard to tell. I just want someone to put it on and stand front facing.
Okay.
And take a picture.
So this is one of mine. It's called sweater number 12, and I'm only going to cut you off here to show you like a picture like that.
Yes,
where there's nothing else in the picture, just the sweater. No cute
like,
tie.
as nice as this looks, but like I don't need to see the drink and the sunglasses. Like it's cute, but that doesn't show me the garment.
Great for promotion on Instagram, but
Yeah.
the garment needs some better photos.
Yeah. But it does look very, it's either brioche or ribbing. I'm pretty sure it's brioche.
Oh.
It's so easy. Actually, I want to show you a video
I'm gonna have to learn how to do it.
And some garter. But it's just cute. Like, I liked it.
I feel like if I'm gonna brioche, I should brioche with like a hat or something to start.
You could.
Although you know me, I just jump right in with 2 feet. Brioche, yes, I will make an entire brioche sweater.
This is the one I wanted to show you that reminds me of yours.
Oh yeah.
So this is the Cozy Classic Raglan.
I almost did that in the Cozy Classic Raglan, but I've already made it twice and I didn't want to make it a third time so soon. I almost did it.
So I saw these on Instagram. This is the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Maed. And like this reminded me of Brandy's.
If I hadn't just made that other sweater with the spin cycle as the Cozy Classic Raglan, I probably would have done the Cozy Classic Raglan. I'm like, I can't make it 3 times in a year. I mean, I can.
You can. There's people that have like a million love notes.
I do. The other reason why I chose not to do the Cozy Classic Raglan is the neckline is quite tight and I wanted it to be like oversized, which I don't know if I just went up a couple sizes, if that would have helped. But it is a very tight neckline.
I like these pictures. I was like, wow, this is very
just like
reminiscent of what you're doing.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That is all of my patterns.
Cool.
Do you have more patterns?
Well, this one that I showed, like I don't know. I think it tells you it's yarn held together, but I think it's broken rib stitch. I haven't done that, but I really like how it looks. And I also, I don't know, I'm kind of drawn to stripes these days, but I don't know if I'd want to do stripes that are all the way. I don't know. But speaking of stripes, this is another one that showed up. And it's the Sund by Susanna Kartinen. But Sund is used a lot. So I don't know what that means, but there are a lot of Sund patterns. I don't love, this is her sample, but I saw one on Instagram. If I had seen this one, I probably wouldn't have been drawn to it. But I will try and find the one. I try to save the ones that because we have a podcast. So I'm like, I'm going to save them in. I even have a thing. Knits to share on Instagram or on the podcast on Knits'n'Giggles. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. There it is. Now, these are my colors.
That looks super cute.
Right? It doesn't even look like the same sweater.
Look at that skirt even.
Yeah, it's a test knit. I'm not a pink person, but I love it. Like
You don't make such cute things, but that would not look that way on me with I don't have that skirt.
That's right, you don't have that skirt. Even her earrings, like she
I
has
know,
these big.
it's just a whole vibe.
It is a whole vibe. That's if I had seen the other one, I wouldn't have even looked. But I'm like, this is so cute, and I love the summery colors. Mm-hmm. Kids even see it in like a yellow and a cream or whatever, pink. Not a pink person.
I say that I'm not really, but I wear a lot of pink.
I don't have a single pink thing in my closet. Like I have
lots. I don't love it.
I think I have pink in socks. That's it.
Pink just looks good with my skin tone.
I don't even think I have pink underwear.
That's drawing a line.
Yeah.
It's like not even underwear.
Not even underwear. I used to have a really hot pink bright pink bra. I don't know. I can't say that. That was like the pinkest thing in my whole wardrobe. And the only reason why I bought it is because it was buy one get one half off, and that was the only color that they had in my size. It was like, fine, I'll buy the pink one then.
I just had this flashback from the bro. So, did you ever watch Seinfeld?
Mm-hmm. Growing up.
Okay.
It was a classic.
The man's ear episode. I watched it the other day. So bro. He was arguing about it being called the bro or the man's ear. Oh my god. And George's dad is like trying it on, and they open the door and he's standing there with Kramer like doing up his Velcro, and oh my god.
What's his name? Frank?
Frank.
Mm-hmm. Good old Frank.
So funny.
That is funny. Those were like, I don't know. Again, growing up, that's all you had was like a couple channels and a few shows. Mm-hmm. When we, like a few years ago, we started going on vacation almost every other year, whatever. Like all inclusives, and our kids were still little, so we'd go, swim until whatever time, 4 or 5:30, and then get ready as a family. And we'd have showers and stuff, and we'd turn the TV on, and often there wasn't like a lot of channels, and we would often watch either Friends or Seinfeld. And my kids
in Spanish?
No, it would be in English.
Oh, okay.
But my kids, like that's how they got hooked on Seinfeld and Friends, watching those shows. Although looking back, I'm like, they weren't really 5 and 9-year-old friendly.
They're not. Actually, Noelle has loved Friends since she was like 6, and it's just not child appropriate.
No.
And we told her she's not allowed to watch it. She would sneak out of bed and like watch it early in the morning before we were awake, and like
her early morning cartoons were
Friends when she was like 6 and 7. I'd be like, I can't stop her from watching this. She is obsessed with this show. Yeah.
Well, this is a good segue. I watched, so Sunday night we had pizza, and we watched, so we have Disney downstairs, and the kids were scrolling, and I said, is that Cocktail? With Tom Cruise in it? I'm like, we have to watch this. I was so excited. When I was like 14 or 15, I watched Cocktail. I was moving to Jamaica with my best friend. We were going to be bartenders. We were going to do all the flipping. It was so amazing. I watched that movie as an adult, and it's awful. He is a terrible human being in that movie. It is horrible. That movie is completely ruined for me. First of all, he cheats on Jordan. Okay, so there was a little technical glitch. I'm just going to clarify in case Debbie can't fix it. But the phone died. So we're coming back in. We were talking about Cocktail and how, so Tom Cruise's character cheats on Jordan, goes off with some older lady who's rich, and then he feels guilty the next day after sleeping with her, but goes to see Jordan. Jordan left because she saw it happen. You're not familiar with the movie. And then he goes back to New York with the old lady and like continues the relationship using her. And when he tracks down Jordan, he gaslights her and he's like, you don't understand. You need to listen to me. I have reasons. And the reasons is my friend dared me and to snag a rich person. So you don't back down from a dare. I'm sorry.
So here's the thing. I've never watched Cocktail. So, as you're talking about all these characters, I'm like, I have no idea who these other people are, but
Yeah, well, you need to.
Well, now when I watch it, I'll be disgusted.
You should be. I can't believe 16-year-old me made plans for my life I wasn't going to college. I was going to Jamaica to be a bartender with my best friend Jody at the time. I'm serious. Like, this was an actual plan. A good thing that didn't work out, hey?
Yeah, you probably turned into a Scientologist.
A crazy person. It was awful. Like, I'm watching this. I'm like, this is the worst movie ever. And why do people, they were like, oh, Tom Cruise, he's so hot. Look at him in a bikini. He wasn't. Never mind. No, terrible movie. Don't recommend. 0 stars.
Cocktail from the 80s.
And no wonder that, like, women grew up hating ourselves, because then he, like, storms into her rich parents' place and, yeah, gaslights are like, no, you need to listen to me. The reason why I did it is this, and you didn't tell me you were rich. Yeah. And she's like, because you were obsessed with money and I didn't think you'd like me because of who I am. And then she ends up going off with him later in the movie. I don't understand. She's pregnant. But still don't understand. It's like, no, ick. Jordan. It's so icky. I was like, I can't believe this. Years ago, I really wanted to get the Game of Life when I was like 20. And Jeff was like, I don't want to play the Game of Life with you. And I was like, no, I loved it so much. My aunt and uncle had it, and I used to go and play with a cousin, and I love that game. So we bought the Game of Life, and I played half a game, and I'm like, this is the dumbest game ever. Why did you let me buy this?
I think I have it. I don't know if I've ever played it.
It's so dumb. So yeah, that's Cocktail Life me. It's Cocktail and the Game of Life, just done. No more. Yeah. Right.
Did you ever play Nightmare?
No.
Oh. It's one of those games too that's nostalgic.
Really? Because I've never heard of
it. I played it in like late elementary, junior high. And it had a videotape, like a VHS tape.
You played it while you played the game?
Yes. And the VHS had this scary Grim Reaper guy, and he, as the game goes on, your player pieces, I'm pretty sure, are tombstones.
Okay.
And as you go on, the guy pops on the screen and scares the shit out of you.
Oh.
And
don't remember.
He looks old, and then he starts to decay as the video goes on. At the end, he has like worms and mice and grossness.
So what if you forget to rewind because you're not kind, and you play the video in the middle of the VHS?
Well, that's unfortunate. And I guess you're in the middle of the
He's already decaying.
I don't know. So I played this as a younger preteen. And then a couple years ago, I was like feeling nostalgic. I was shopping for a Tickle Me Elmo for my sister on Etsy because she had one as a child. So I bought her one for her birthday a few years ago as this nostalgic gift. Because she lost hers. Well, we think that it was stolen at a house party, but anyway, who steals someone's Tickle Me Elmo from like a 5-year-old? But anyway, so I saw the Nightmare game, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this. I haven't played it since I bought it again 2 years ago.
Because you don't have a VHS player?
I do, but I can't connect it to my TV. I need the right cords, but now the TVs don't have the right ports because they're all HDMI, and it's this whole thing. So I haven't been able to play it, and it's kind of sad.
It's kind of sad.
But I bet you if I played it, it would not feel the same.
No.
Like life. So maybe I don't want to ruin that for myself.
No.
So I just have the Nightmare game.
How much did you pay for this Nightmare game that you can play?
I have like $30.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It wasn't horrible.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You want to jump into books?
Yes. I don't. They're on that phone. I can talk about them, but now that phone is recording.
Well, I can look them up.
So, the books that I've read.
Yes.
Let me see if I can remember from memory.
You read a Megan Quinn. Let me help you out.
Yes. The latest one. And it's set in Almond Bay. It's from the Almond Bay series. And it's the oldest brother's story.
I have it.
Ryland Rowley is his name. And it is, I would like to say, so I have problems with chili pepper ratings.
Okay.
Because I feel it's very subjective.
Yes, it is very
because
subjective.
I'd be like, this is 3. Though it's quite spicy, but I feel like not as spicy as some other things that I've read that are like basically porn. So
fair.
I would say it's like a 3 uses lots of dirty talk.
The Path to Loving Him.
Yes, that one. But I really liked it.
Okay.
So I like that one. Now I'm restarting Bridesmaid Undercover, also by Megan Quinn, because I had started reading it and then I had stopped and I had gone to audiobooks and listened to a bunch of books, and then I went and read this Megan Quinn, and then I tried reading that stupid book club book that I didn't finish. So I'm restarting Bridesmaid Undercover, and I just got to the point where they're dressed up and they went to the zoo, and the nose, the prosthetic, there's a scene.
Oh my God.
There's a scene in this where he's wearing a prosthetic nose and it gets skewered by a branch, and it was like, I was laughing.
I found this one to be very, very funny.
It's really
I read it a
funny.
long time ago, so I don't remember everything, but
It's a rom-com and it's hilarious. I'm reading that one right now.
And it's in the Bridesmaid for Hire, like that's the first book.
And there's a third one that's coming out. I pre-ordered it already.
Ooh.
It comes out in June, I think.
Okay.
And she has another book that came up on my Kindle as a pre-order for, it gets released in April. So there are 2 pre-orders that I just purchased for $8 on Kindle. And then the last book I started listening to, Tessa Bailey. I can't remember the title. It just came out too, I think. And it's, you know how she has the series, there's the golfer.
Yes, I haven't read any of those ones, but you've talked about them, yeah.
So this one is the golfer's best friend is a hockey player, and it's his story. So it's
I've seen that one.
Sports romance. It came out a while ago probably, but I've had it on request from Libby, so I'm listening to it through Libby right now. And those are my reads.
There's too many Tessa Baileys for me to find out which one it is.
I can't remember what it's called. Dream Girl, Dream, something. It's something Dream Girl.
Dream. Let's try putting Dream in and see. Yeah, Dream Girl drama.
Yes.
All right. This is this one.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've read quite a bit lately. I did read a lot. I didn't have to work on Friday.
Oh. So she knit a whole sweater and read 5 books?
Yeah. And not a lot of other things happened. I cleaned my bathroom. And that's, you know, I'm glad I did that, because then I feel like I didn't just read and knit. Okay, so Mia Sheridan has been recommended a lot by strangers in a book group. But I finally read Archer's Voice, and I also read the second one, which is Most of All You. And I talked about this already, but I'm going to say, like, I feel like we need another, and maybe there is and I'm just not aware of it. So if you are a romancy reader and you know the word for this category, I need a category that is a romance but is very serious. And these fall in the very serious category. They deal with very serious traumas. And Most of All You has, the main male character was kidnapped as a child and kept for 6 years. So very trauma-based books. There is, like, again, the chili pepper rating thing is, there is some bedroom scenes, but it's not a lot, and it's more dealing with, like, where these people as couples are, you know, meeting with their trauma and, like, helping each other out and processing. So they're very heavy. I actually cried, which I don't normally cry for books, movies, nothing. But I cried in this book because it's not that it's sad, it's just like, this is so real. And then Archer's Voice, I would give these both 4 stars, but go in, read the trigger warnings before. I don't really say that, but these ones definitely have some, like, very heavy topics in them. Archer's Voice is talked about a lot and recommended a lot, but I read it not knowing what to get into. So I felt like I was more prepared for the second book because I had already read the, like, heavy, there's, like, references to domestic violence, and the main character is shot during one of the domestic violence incidents as a child. So, but I would 4 stars if you like that kind of book. And again, like, I don't know what to call these. Like, they're not dramas, and they're not necessarily like they're not comedies. They're not romantic comedies. I don't know what to call them, but yeah. And then I lent this book out. I read this a long time ago, but I wanted to talk about this because I feel like it's a book everybody should read. It is called Being Mortal by, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to say Atul Gawande. And he is a physician. This is a real it's nonfiction. I lent it out to a friend recently because her mother is in her 80s and she had a health scare. She was living alone and she fell and was not able to get up and was actually alone for 3 days before her daughters found her. And my friend was telling me that in the hospital, her mom was like basically faking it, trying to prove that she was ready to go home. And I said, oh, she doesn't like to be in the hospital. She said, well, no, she wants to go home and have a drink of whiskey. And I said, oh, does she drink a lot? And she's like, well, couple drinks every night. But the doctors said no more alcohol. But she's in her late 80s and I had already read this book. So my friend was kind of like, Mom, why can't you just like stop drinking? Like, is it really that important that you have a whiskey every night or that you live? And I read this book after my dad passed away, but I have a similar story where my dad was hospitalized right before he passed away and he was very ill and he was dying. We didn't know when, obviously, you never know when. I didn't think it was gonna happen as fast as it was, but I went to see him. He was taking my ambulance to a hospital near me and I went to see him and he asked me to go to the vending machine and get him a diet ginger ale. And I had no idea. So he gave me a couple tunis and I walked out trying to find the vending machine and I don't do directions very well and I hate hospitals. So I was wandering around this hospital that I hadn't been in before and I couldn't find the vending machine. So I came back. He was in emergency because they didn't have a bed for him. So I came back to the emerge entrance and I went to ask the nurse's station for directions and she's like, are you getting this for a patient? And I was like, well, yeah, my dad. And she was like, who is he? And I was like, oh. And then she's like, you can't give him pop. It will kill him. And I was like, oh, he's diabetic. And he had been, hospitalized for lots of reasons. But his blood sugar was out of control due to his health issues. And so I went back into the room and I was like, Dad, I can't give you a ginger ale because it will kill you. And the nurse followed me in and she was like, and you know this because I've been telling you this all day. He passed away less than 4 weeks later. In that time, every time I talked to him and every time I seen him, he would beg me to bring him ginger ale. And after reading this book, I wish I would have just brought him the damn ginger ale because it was like the one thing that he just wanted. Mm-hmm. And his quality of life was awful at that point. Mm-hmm. He was dying and all the adults around him, everybody around him was like, no, you can't have this pop. And really at the end of the day, it would have made him feel good. And so this book really talks about those types of situations and about like putting aside what we want for our loved ones and recognizing what they want and giving them some autonomy and some ownership over their decisions. And there's so many different examples in here from like surgeries that are risky to old age and old age buildings and like moving your loved ones and what is important to us. And of course, it's so hard to see our loved ones suffering or to see them making decisions that we see as like reckless. Like having a ginger ale when the nurse tells you it's going to spike your blood pressure and you'll probably pass out and you might die. Yeah. It seems like, why would you do that? Yeah. But in hindsight and after reading this book, it was like such a balm for me. And I really like, if anybody is going through anything like that, you should definitely pick up this book. Not just for yourself, not just for like your loved ones, but also for yourself as you get old. Like it's so good to have these perspectives and like be able to relate. I really related to that, and I'm not even old.
Yeah, well, I have so many examples of that because I worked in end of life care in hospice, and that's just about giving a good death when people don't have control. You lose so much control and autonomy as you are dying, especially if you're in care. Mm-hmm. If all you want is to have your whiskey, then you just do it. Yeah. Like my great grandma, she died when she was in her 90s, but even like my aunts and my mom would remember when they were younger how my grandma would want, she would, back then you could send your kid to the store with a note to get cigarettes, whatever.
Yes.
And would send them to go get her brandy. And then like she'd hide it. She's an old lady. At the time she wasn't, it was their grandma, but she was, you know, probably in her 40s, like of my age. And she'd have her brandy in her sock drawer and she'd have a little bit.
Yeah.
And even as she got to be like 90, she could not see anymore. And she'd be like, just want her like shot glass of brandy.
Yeah.
And like, what are you going to say? Like,
yeah.
What at that point, does it matter? They're already dying, really.
Yes.
They're not going to live much longer. Yeah.
As long as it's not doing harm to other people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, books like that are great for perspective, especially if you don't have experience.
Yes.
Daily or in normal life.
And I should say that the author is actually a physician. I think he's a surgeon. And he interviews, but also like he interviews people that he doesn't really know, but he also interacts with a bunch of patients, as well as he brings in examples from his own family and his own interactions with his dad, his grandfather. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming people contacted him at some point and were like, I know you're doing this project, because there's just such a wide range, but it's not I felt like it was not clinically written. Mm-hmm. Like it's very personable, and you can tell that he has relationships with these people, and then it's coming from like actual experience, not just like somebody writing a, you know, an expose on end of life. So yeah, so that was
a very very different book than we normally talk about.
Zero chili peppers.
Zero chili peppers.
Yeah,
nothing.
And proof that I read books that aren't just spicy.
And very wrecked.
Okay,
this gives me anxiety.
Okay, I have to tell you the story. I was reading this outside, and my kids they were still littler, younger, and we were playing outside, and I was sitting there reading my book, and one of them needed a snack, or I don't know, maybe something had happened, and I left it on my chair, and a freak summer rainstorm happened. And by the time I remembered that I left my book outside, because it came out of nowhere, it was like one of those, you know, those days where it's like sunshine, but it's pouring. That's what had happened. And so my very wrecked book is because it rained on it.
So you were playing outside and they sprayed you with a hose?
No, like it was drenched. And I believe I did the thing that Debbie would hate, but I had it like this, and it was like, I literally like picked it up and it was like sopping. I'm pretty sure I let it dry outside.
I do that to my books.
Very gently.
Yes, and you have to be like this.
Yeah.
So the spine doesn't get a crease in it.
So Debbie once gave me a book and she was like, here, you can read this book. And I was like, well, don't you want to read it first? And she's like, I did. And I'm like, oh, because it doesn't look like you opened it. How did you read it?
I read them like this.
Barely.
And then I hold them this way and then this way.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you something.
I do not bend them like that.
I used to be the like...
The roller?
Yeah.
The cover roller? Oh, I hate that so much.
Well, ever since you told me, I have become this. I like, do not crack the spine, because Debbie wouldn't. And I borrowed one of her books recently, and I don't know, I was reading it, and then something happened, and I didn't have a bookmark, and I was holding it like this, and then I had to set it down, and I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. I should write a note. Oh my, you a new book. I think I cracked the spine.
As long as you don't dog-ear the pages, that's a big line.
Okay, so I hope this is going to get long, but one more thing I want to talk about. Do you know people write in their books?
No, that's awful.
Like they highlight, and I could never do that to a book. No. I couldn't. It would bother me so much. A textbook? Maybe.
But they make sticky tabs for that and annotation things. Like, I'll buy the little flags that you can write on, and then you put them on your page. Or you can get the ones that are clear, so you can like stick it over the whole thing, and it like puts a little colored block around the writing underneath it.
I saw in one of the book groups, I almost tagged you, but I knew it would drive you nuts. Someone had like literally opened the book, and she had circled a paragraph, and then she had an arrow, and she wrote a paragraph. What the heck just happened? Or something like that. And I was like, you wrote in your book? Why would you write in your book? What if you lend it? And they're like, oh. Brooke wants to know what the heck happened. It's so weird.
I'm too extreme though. I do have even books that you're supposed to write in, like
Journals?
There's the one, oh, what's it called?
Wreck this book?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember who it's even by right now. But it's one of those, it's called You Can Heal Your Life. And it's similar to like the German New Medicine stuff where like your emotions connect to different ailments and stuff in your body. But it there's a workbook that goes along with this, and you're supposed to like write in it. I have a hard time even doing that. I would be like, okay, I have this. Now I'm going to have my journal separately, and then I'm going to write the questions from the workbook into my own journal. It's a little too much.
That's
The purpose of the workbook is to work in it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, it's too pretty.
I'll just use this loose leaf
and put it inside.
All right, I feel like this is getting long. We should probably au revoir. I'm gonna
Long on 2 phones.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm like 22 minutes, but what were we at the other one?
No idea.
No, me either. Okay.
It's like we're starting over.
Yeah, we should pose so that you can get a nice picture without me blinking.
Are you sure?
I can't wait to see these photos. It's gonna be great. All right, we're done. See you guys next time.